granted for France either. This is their 15th appearance at the finals. They've only got through the group on 6 occasions. A reminder of the teams for you, with France pretty much as was predicted in the build-up to the game. 4-3-3, Lloris in goal, Pavard, Varane, Umtiti and Hernandez the back four. Tolisso of Bayern, Kante of Chelsea, Pogba of Manchester United in midfield, and up front Kylian Mbappe at 19, Antoine Griezmann and Ousmane Dembele of Barcelona at just 21, 2 of the 3 most expensive players in the world in that front 3. As for Australia, Matt Ryan in goal, back 4 of Josh Risdon, Trent Sainsbury, Mark Milligan and Aziz Behich. In midfield, sitting in front of that back 4, Aaron Moy of Huddersfield and Aston Villa's Mile Jedinak, who wears the armband for Australia. Of course, it was his hat-trick that got Australia through to these finals when they beat Honduras in the playoff. In front of them, Matthew Leckie, the Hertha Berlin winger on one side, the VFI Bochum winner Robbie Kruse on the other, and Tom Rogic of Celtic providing support to the inexperienced Andrew Nabut, who plays in Japan for the Urawa Red Diamonds up front. His 5th cap, although he has already got on the score sheet in his short time in charge. I wonder how much of the ball he will see in this matchup against France. Didier Deschamps, 6 years now into his tenure as France head coach. He has been playing a variety of 4-4-2s in the last couple of years and has been much criticised for it. This looks like a rather different formation. They have been exposed in midfield in recent months. Colombia took full advantage. They won 3-2 in Paris in March. They ran away with it in midfield. We are underway, courtesy of the referee who blows his whistle from Uruguay, Andres Cunha, and it's France in the blue strip, white shorts and blue socks attacking the goal. Away to our left-hand side with the Socceroos all in gold, playing from left to right. Aaron Moy in possession, looking to dink one over the top, as we saw him do thousands of times for Huddersfield last season. It's cleared comfortably enough by Hugo Lloris, and he will come and claim. We can get a word from the man alongside me, Perry Groves.
To be fair to Australia, they've started quite well. I know it's only playing a minute, but they've hit the ball forward twice, hit it long, so they're not going to try and play in midfield. It went back to Sainsbury. He hit it forward into the left-hand channel, and so did Aaron Moy. So you know exactly how Australia are going to play. And it's France now going to try and get their passing game together and get a little bit of rhythm going.
Great stadium this, by the way, capacity of just under 45,000. It's 450 miles from Moscow. Beautiful stadium. The tragedy is that Rubin Kazan play here, and their average attendance last season was just under 10,000. They're currently in all sorts of financial difficulties. Players paid late on numerous occasions. Very different here today, and this could be the first opportunity for France, as the shot ends up being smashed into the side netting from Kylian Mbappe. Might have got a deflection on its way through, but there's a signal of intent from the 19-year-old.
It was a great run from Mbappe, just going from centre to the right-hand side. He should be really trying to go across the goal, so Matt Ryan's got his angles right and put it off for a corner, but good little run in behind the Australia back 4 from Mbappe.
So the first corner goes France's way, whipped in, left-footed, a curling ball in towards that near post. A couple of Australia heads get to it. The second one is Jedinak, who puts it out for a throw, level with the edge of the Aussie penalty area, which Atletico Madrid's Lucas Hernandez will take, and he gets it back from Pogba. And Hernandez decides to switch it out to that right-hand side. It trundles its way through to Barcelona's Samuel Umtiti. He knocks it long, left-footed, up towards Mbappe again. He's quickly dispossessed, and straight away the pattern of play is set, really. All the gold shirts inside their own half, with France trying to pick a way through.
Yeah, just basics. It's a 4-5-1, exactly how I thought it'd line up, with France having a lot of possession. At the moment they're going sideways, so they've got to look to see if they can get their head up, the likes of Tolisso, see if they can get the ball into Griezmann very quickly. At the moment they're going from right to left, left to right, without any real penetration.
Of course, their coach, the Aussie coach Bert van Marwijk of Holland, he was the man that got Saudi Arabia to these finals. And his side have got a free kick to defend now as Mbappe goes over in a central area, just a few yards outside the penalty area. It's Milligan with the challenge, and this is a great opportunity for France.
What we were talking about there, Gary, it was a brilliant ball from Ntita. He said sometimes you've got to try and pass through teams. Exactly what he did, completely negated Jednak and Moy. Went into Mbappe, defender too tight, as you said there, a real decent free kick, just on level with Matt Ryan's right-hand post, probably about 20-28 yards out.
Now, there's a real conversation going on between Griezmann and Pogba as to who should take this and what they should do with it. Australia aren't paying any attention to that. They're getting a 5-man wall lined up, which is inside the penalty area, about a yard inside. That tells you how far out we are, about 27 yards. Looks like it's being lined up for Paul Pogba. 4 minutes on the clock. And it is Pogba who shoots, but it's a weak effort. It's on target, but that is very comfortable for Matt Ryan, who pats it down and claims. Yeah,
he got it up and down enough, but not enough swerve on it. And Matt Ryan didn't do what goalkeepers normally do and gamble and take steps left-hand side, stayed in the centre of his goal. He said it was a very comfortable save in the end.
And Australia go long down the left. That was a long ball looking for the run of Robbie Cruz. But the ball runs harmlessly out of play, and France will maintain possession, and I think that will be a running theme as well. It's a throw-in in their right-back area, which is lumped forward by Pavard, who plays in the Bundesliga with Stuttgart. He kicks it out of play this time, and that actually goes out for an Australian throw in front of the vast ranks of their supporters on that far side.
You can tell that the instructions that every Australian member of their back four has been given is do not give it away in your final third. Every time they've got it, they've hit it a good 50-60 yards, just trying to, maybe a bit like rugby, you know, when you try and get a line out in the opposition sort of final third. So there's not been a lot of passing movements.
Well, Van Marwijk only took over in January, and he did say ahead of this tournament, I can't work miracles, you know. I think he will just get them solid and compact and well organised. Here comes Ousmane Dembélé down the left for France, approaching the edge of the box. It could break here for Griezmann, who shoots right-footed. Lovely clean hit from just outside the box, but again, not too difficult for Matt Ryan, who dives to his left and makes a fairly routine stop.
Good link-up play from the France front three. Mbappe, who started off really sharply, just holding the ball up, passing it to Dembélé. He just squared it to Antoine Griezmann. It just set up nicely for him. It was a decent strike, but not quite enough power to trouble Matt Ryan.
Match 4 out of 64. First of 4 games here on Talk Sport today. Argentina, Iceland, Peru, Denmark and Croatia, Nigeria, all to come before 10 o'clock tonight. It's just back-to-back football here on your World Cup station, Talk Sport. Every goal, every game, every day. 6 minutes gone, and it's France 0, Australia 0, as Pogba goes all the way back to Varane. He finds Samuel Ntita. Left-footed ball down the inside left channel from him. Won't break for Pogba. And it's N'Golo Kante who picks it up. Goes back to Varane. Now down the right-hand side for Pavard. He knocks it inside to Pogba at the top of the centre circle. Right-footed ball from him out to the left, and Hernandez, who goes over under the no-nonsense challenge of Josh Risdon, the right-back for Australia, and it's a free kick to France.
Yeah, you can tell that again. The instructions to Australian players is do not get France time to turn on the ball. So there's been a couple of sort of heavy challenges come in, and Hernandez, who's been pushing on really well down the left-hand side, wins his team a free kick.
So another good position this for France on the dead ball. Not a shooting position this time. It's wide on the left, but probably only about 28 yards out again. They have got a 2-man wall, Australia, just in case, but this is outside the apex of the box. So you would expect that Mbappe is just going to curl this towards the far post. Here he comes, the teenager, as a little flick on the near post by Griezmann. But fortunately for Australia, again, it was straight at Matt Ryan.
It was a poor free kick, wasn't it, from Mbappe with his right foot. You like to see if he can bend that into their penalty spot to give Varane and Umtiti a chance to go and attack it, and hit it too low. Came to Griezmann, he just tried to deflect it, but again just went easily into the midriff of Matt Ryan.
Mbappe said in the build-up to this game, Australia are a very rough and very physical team who will make it hard for us to play. I think he's got that absolutely spot on. And why not?
But a typical sort of no-nonsense Aussie team, aren't they? And you said they're very physical, they're good athletes, they don't try and overcomplicate things. And they'll be pleased because they just want to see if they can settle into the game, and we're getting into like 8.5 minutes gone and still 0-0.
Of course, they can't be as good technically as France, so they have to compensate in other ways, as Jedinak tries to play the ball forward. It didn't find its intended target, which was Robbie Cruz. Nabout went for it, it was cleared by Lloris, and it's out for a throw to France in their right back area. And a chance here for Umtiti to bring it forward, left-footed out to the left-hand side, and Hernandez, who got the nod today ahead of Manchester City's Benjamin Mendy, who I'm sure was bitterly disappointed after working so hard to come back from that horrible knee injury at the start of last season. He returned for City in April, but not in the starting 11 today. Flick on by Griezmann, looking for the onward run of Mbappe, and it goes straight through to Ryan, but quickly they win it back. Unfairly in the referee's view, it's Dembele who was a little bit aggressive in the challenge, and the free kick goes Australia's way.
Just looking at Matt Ryan there, he's rolled it out into centre midfield, and if you're his two centre, Sainsbury and Milligan, you'll be like, can we just have a breather just at the moment? Don't try and play through, just give us a little breather and we'll go long.
Warm day in Kazan, and these Australian players are going to be working very, very hard. Of course, they do have a little secret weapon on the bench in Tim Cahill at 38. He's looking to score in 4 consecutive World Cups. He would join a very select gang of people if he did that.
Is it closer?
Pelé,
Sealer.
And Sealer, yeah.
Is it 50 international goals?
Incredible.
That is incredible, especially as I know he's an attacking midfield player. He's not an out-and-out centre forward, is he? And a lot of the times he runs from deep.
He's just got the most incredible record for Australia. 25 of those goals have been in World Cup finals or qualifiers, so meaningful goals as well. Something like 45% of their goals in World Cups he's scored. Staggering, really.
I think it's 5 out of 11, isn't it? Which is
staggering.
And you just need someone. Obviously, he's not got the physical capabilities that he's had before, but you need someone like that in and around the camp just for his experience. Now,
the jeers you're hearing are from the Australian fans on the far side, because they wanted a free kick, and I think the referee had a good long think about it, and he has given it. And this is wide on the left, just a little bit deeper than the penalty area, so about 28 yards back from the corner flag on the left-hand side, and a chance for Moy, who we know about his delivery from Huddersfield last season. If he can get it right, they've got plenty of height in the penalty area. We played 11 minutes on TalkSport. France 0, Australia 0, and it's going to be Aaron Moy to swing in this free kick on his right boot, a curling ball into the penalty area. The referee is unhappy about some of the grappling in the box. Moy delivers now, and it is a good ball in towards that near post, and Lilly is the player who went for it. He's not the strongest in the air, to be honest, but he made a good late angled run. The ball goes high over the crossbar and behind for a goal kick.
See, if I was the Australian centre halves and Jedinak, I'd be wanting Aaron Moy to put that right on top of Hugo Lloris. Make him make a decision. Missed the first man, which he didn't, and then there are going to be very few chances that Australia are going to get, so you have to have a better delivery than that.
Little back header from Antoine Griezmann. He looked for Hernandez, who was unceremoniously barged to the ground by Leckie, and he is going to find himself in the book here. It's the first yellow card of the game for Matthew Leckie of Hertha Berlin, and a free kick to France again on the left-hand side. And I don't think you can have any complaints about that one.
No, not really. Just a little bit late, wasn't he, on Hernandez there? And he's been very prominent, isn't he, Hernandez down the left-hand side. Maybe France can get Pavard more on the right-hand side, because when the two centre-halves, Ryan and Umtiti, have the ball, then them two play like, although they're playing in a four, they're playing like wing-backs. But on the left-hand side, Hernandez has been very prominent.
France 0, Australia 0 on TalkSport, your World Cup station. 13 minutes gone. Griezmann left-footed, hangs it up towards the far post. It's Moy who meets it, but all he can do is head it over his own bar for a France corner. Great ball in that was. Much better anyway than previous free kicks that France have had.
He did well there, Aaron Roy, because that's the position he doesn't want to find himself in. Middle of the 6-yard box, made sure he stayed disciplined, zonal marking, head it off for a corner.
Second corner for France, in swinger from Dembele. Good header away again by Leckie on that near post. France try to keep it alive before it's eventually headed away by Behic, their left back, and Australia trying to come forward down the left. Robbie Cruz not able to get away from his man, who was Pavard, the right back. He keeps it alive for France. Moy with a vital interception to prevent the ball running through to Mbappe, and eventually the ball ends up back with Matt Ryan away to our left-hand side, and the Brighton and Hove Albion goalkeeper kicks along right-footed down the left. It's down the right, sorry, for Australia. Not as long as he would have liked, and France immediately have it back. Pogba looking to curl that ball into the run of Mbappe, but he just hit it a fraction too hard, and Ryan makes the claim.
Yeah, he just needs a little bit more air on it. Good position from Paul Pogba, just coming off the left-hand side, and Mbappe's made some good runs, starting from wide positions, trying to get himself in between Sainsbury and Milligan. Just overhit just a tad from Paul Pogba, but good starting position from Matt Ryan as well.
They have beaten France just once, Australia. That was back in 2001 in the Confederations Cup, a 1-0 victory. They haven't met each other too many times, these sides. France obviously have had the better of it, but I think Australia see this as a decent opening game. If they pinch something from it, then suddenly they have Peru and Denmark to come, and who knows, they might be able to finish second in this group. I think every Australia player is expecting France to top this group. Battle for second place is anyone's. It's Australia coming forward with Milligan, forward to Moy, just short of the centre circle, gets it out to the left side, and they'll just keep possession here, and France are happy to let them have it.
Yeah, but I think France are too deep. When they're out of possession, France drop into a 4-1-4-1 formation, leave Griezmann up front of his own. I'd like to see him, Mbappe and Dembele, actually push right up and see if they can hurry Australia up, because you said there they had possession for a minute, and you end up letting the opposition ease themselves into the game.
Well,
so
that's classic Deschamps though, isn't it? That's what he's criticised for.
They were too deep. They're 10 to 15 yards too deep. Push a little bit further up, go and put the Australian players under pressure.
I think some French supporters want him to take the handbrake off, as Arsene Wenger would say, because they can be rather rigid, they can be a little too disciplined. And if you look to how many goals the team scored in qualifying, you've got Germany and Belgium, who whacked him, 43 each in qualifying. France, 18. Yes, they topped their group, but it wasn't convincing. They weren't big victories. Can they get some goals here? As it is, Australia have a free kick, again wide on the left side, very similar position to the last one. Aaron Moy put this into a fairly straightforward area for France to defend it. What can he do with this one? Moy right-footed into the box, same sort of area, and Leckie met it all the way through, and the